Very quick off-camera things I'm gonna do, and then for the important parts, I will film them. So, limited space. I have to check. I've checked the rear, but of course, this ain't no Honda Civic, so the brakes are a different size in the front. I have to do an individual test fit with and without the spacers to see if those winter wheels require spacers or not to clear the Lamborghini brakes. Yeah, the flex of this car from all those years ago. So that's what it is. People shave the brake calipers sometimes. I'm absolutely not going to shave no brake caliper. If these wheels don't fit, we'll sell them and buy something else. So, what I'm saying is it's the annoying difficulty of this car of jacking one wheel up with having a whole bunch of crap in your garage. But whatever. You guys who do this kind of stuff like me know the drill. The power steering stuff. So the car, as you can see right now, is on a slant. And then I have to check the wheel in the front before I push the car out because I don't have space for the wheels in here. So I got to check the front first with one wheel while the car's in the garage. Put this wheel back on before I do that. Then what we're going to do is as I turn it on to take it outside, you see that the theory is going on right now, like one of the Civics, okay, it had this loud mechanical whine, which was the power steering O-ring pumps leaking, low power steering fluid, or just the fact that it was cold because it went away after that. So, we're not going to waste too much time theorizing about this stuff, but the thing about the sounds you've heard over the past years in the winter, that sound in the previous video, whine sound part 1 or something I have, is it goes away immediately. That's the part that's kind of weird for me. So obviously one of the main tests, I mean I do it on a Honda, I test everything, but this car you're always scared to do stuff. A simple wheel turn might show us if it's a power steering fluid that's gone bad, which I think is way overdue on this car. I don't know if it's done by previous owners in the past, but yeah, because the car has been sitting for a good amount of time now, I don't know, a couple days, I don't know, about a week now, and it's cold outside. So it should do the sound, and we'll turn the wheel lock to lock, and I'll videotape that. And then afterwards, depending on how far I get with the wheels and figuring out my own methods to get spacers and stuff off of those without damaging them, because you can damage stuff that's rotational and you'd have to rebalance everything if you can, so we got to be real careful with that. But that's the point. Maybe I'll show some stuff for the power steering fluid. Let's see if I can get this video done today. Seriously, look at this sketchy storage position. You know how sketchy it was setting these wheels down with the bike and the car in the way like that? This thing's almost like owning a miniature pickup truck. What I hate the most about this hobby, buying used cars and crap, people are always snotty. Not snotty, it's just, even if they're proper people, they're annoying to deal with when they're selling garbage and used stuff. See, I inspect these tires and rims and annoy people as much as I can to make sure they're not scamming me and I'm getting my money's worth. But look how much, even when I check it, there's a pretty shitty tire plug in this one. But you can only inspect so much when you're in somebody's house there, you know? And trust me, I push it to the maximums of annoying people. Properly though, you know, people, you shouldn't have to annoy them. People just behave in odd ways when they're selling stuff. But whatever. Not gonna make the internet dislike me. Let's get these wheels out. Just wanted to show you that and get on with it. So I fitted one of the wheels with the spacer. Definitely need hub centric rings. You can see right there. It's hanging off the center point line, but it really is not looking like. I'll bring the other rim that doesn't have a spacer to see if we can get away with the clearance, but we're gonna have to keep these spacers on the front at least, so I'm not gonna try to knock out these two, and the back will probably go spacerless, so I'll try to knock one of them out. I mean, the RS3s do run a wider track in the front, I think, those newer ones, so it's really not a big deal. I hope it's not. But yeah, that is not too much of a gap. That RS5 probably had these spacers for a reason. Am I worried about this? Yeah, you guys saw the condition of the bolts in the previous video. So let's get the other rim on here. and then do our whining power steering sound thing. So, next wheel. Okay, gotta be quick with this one before it falls off the wheel. You guys have the specs for this wheel in the other video, the previous part of the series. So just refer to that and know that you will need some fat spacers like those. I moved it just a hair and I chipped off a little piece of the paint on these already calipers that need to be refinished. But this is not going to work. Need spacers in the front. So this rim with these stats will not fit on the front of an RS4. It's just hanging, and there is a gap there. Maybe you can see it. Okay, if the lighting allows, right there's a big gap. And yeah, you guys probably can't see it, but does not clear. Okay, and you can see somebody before in the past, this line here probably tried to test fit it. And I'm telling you, if you're test fitting, do not even rotate it a hair, because it'll scrape. I mean, if you just hear it tinking against the brake caliper, that's enough for you to abandon mission. I didn't really chip off any paint, but okay, you guys got the point. So 2 spacers are going to have to stay, and 2 of these tires are directional, so make sure if you're in such a weird predicament, obviously your case won't be the same as mine, but that you make sure you choose 2 of the directional, because these are directional tires. You got to keep 2 of the tires with the direction facing, one for this side, one for that side, for the front. Alright, so now I need to go on to the next step, which is going to be put the car back on its wheels, and we will do our cold start, whining, whatever BS test. And some of you may be thinking, just buy the extra spacer and go all spacered wheels all around. But you guys, like I said, saw the condition of those bolts, and I think I only have enough healthy bolts to do the 2 front wheels from what came with this winter tire used set. I'm still a bit worried about something happening. You guys will find out if it does. I don't know what the story behind those was. And we will have to measure this stuff very carefully, because it might need different size hub-centric rings for the spacered wheels and different size hub-centric rings for the non-spacered wheels, because even these wheels in their original condition have way too big of a bore in the middle for the stock RS4 whatever the hell's going on hub. So I have a lot of respect, even more now, for these OZ HLT Ultra Legeras, because they don't require spacers. They just need hub-centric rings for these cars, and they clear the brakes just fine. But man, these are getting expensive. I looked into a new set of these. It's around like 5,000 Canadian after taxes just for the rims. So take care of your stuff, people. Another somewhat dangerous spot to leave this here, but with your breaker bar, make sure you have a 1/2-inch extension. You will chip and nick your wheels or the fenders on these cars. Never get close with the arm. And I'll make more detailed videos of this stuff in the future with better video production, but if you want to get a laugh at Audi weight balance, just drop a floor jack compared to the rear, and you'll see how quickly the front goes down because of all the weight. And again, I'm not against the way Audis are built. We'll just go into it in more detail later, but that's just the funny part of it. Okay guys, so I abandoned the stick for this one because we're in the front. I've got the ice auger up there. I don't want to bang the hood, so if you do need adjustability, vice grips are way better in this case, because you can really literally leave them wherever you want. I might start doing this more, but my whole thing has always been, okay, I've never damaged a seal with that, and if these vice grips for some reason someone walks by or something happens and that falls on the paint on these fenders, I don't know, it's kind of an irrational fear, but that scares me more than damaging the stupid fire retardant thing inside the hood. But then again, this one could damage that seal, but to this day it hasn't. So I will continue with the stick because it's quicker when you're on the road too. So I'm going to hold my phone over here so we can hear the sound way up and close. I'm going to try to turn the wheel right away when the car's cold. Hopefully the engine and the exhaust aren't too loud. And I'll leave this, my main camera, out in the driveway so we can get an exhaust shot. well, the car decided not to do its SAI again today on this cold start, so we just have to deal with exactly what happened. So let me close this stupid door. It didn't do that. What else happened? It did not whine at all. You guys heard that. My phone literally just died as you guys were watching the wheel turning clip, so I just started it again. The one outside is still rolling, but the point is that the way it was such a sharp, that sharp finish sound of the whining sound is not like the power steering sound on the Honda. I still hope that the power steering fluid does it. Everybody should do the power steering fluid change, so there's nothing to lose. And this plus 4 degrees Celsius, this is not true, okay? This car gets confused in the garage badly, and even out on the road, it takes its brain like 15 minutes to realize that it's like below zero outside. So whenever you guys see this stuff on this car's screen, it is almost always bogus, okay? But that's the point, is absolutely no whine today. It's not as cold as it was the other day, but it does that whine sound on days when it's even not as cold. I can only work with, every time I work on the car, I blog it for you guys, so you're gonna have to live with it, and so will I. I was hoping the sound would come on so we could turn the wheel and see, but it's not. So the Pentasyn CHF11S, we're gonna cycle it through. It's a service that needs to be done, because I have seen some RS4s for sale recently, cold climate ones again, like mine. Happens to other ones too in the summer climates as well, that they have not leaking hoses, sweating hoses, this, that. We'll get into the power steering stuff a bit more. Let me see if I'm going to continue in this video for today, or if we're going to call it a wrap for now. And yeah, while I'm still here with you, now that the weather's gotten colder, I think that third gear to first gear thing is a good thing to do, even though you can't force it into first. So that seems like it's continuing, but we'll probably be doing a lot more driving with this car soon, so stay tuned for that stuff too. But right now, when I came to put it in reverse, it was a little tough to go in, but tried it the second time and it went in like butter. So now that we've got this thing outside, I'm gonna bring the rims in. We're gonna try all kinds of stuff to measure and get at least one. We're just gonna take one spacer off somehow. Not gonna try not to damage anything. This car has no major leaks, the Audi, so we're good in terms of oil leaks. We should pull the engine at some point and do every seal, but not necessary really. So next, let's bring in those wheels and try to knock off some wheel spacers and measure for correct hub-centric rings for the spacered wheels and for the non-spacered wheels that are going to go on the back, because I don't want to buy spacers for the back. Risky business all this, but whatever the fuck, we're gonna keep working through it. Step one, we're gonna put the rims all on mats so that they don't get damaged. And yeah, those stains, I don't need to go over it, but those are from way back before secondary oil cooler line O-rings from ages ago. That's dry stain stuff. And we'll pick 2 directional tires for the front with spacers and keep them. And then the one wheel we'll put on this upside down. I think I'm going to try to use some tubing and a hammer from the front, pop out the wheel cap and try to knock it out. So I got sketchy vibes from these wheels and their story and how I got them already, but whatever. I'm not gonna complain about that anymore until we get it on the road. So spacerless left side with a spacer left side, and those two, that one has no weights on it, just kind of sketchy for balancing, so we're gonna put that one in the back. And this one does have weights kind of stuck sideways on the inside of the rim, so I hope it's been balanced. We'll keep that one for the front, so we're now going to take the center cap off that and try to pop out that seized wheel spacer. Well, never mind. So we're actually going to continue to use this one for the front, because that one is the one with the shitty tire plug in it. Joys of buying used stuff. Okay, we'll put that back down and we're going to pop it out of this one. Well, looks like I got confused there. The back ones are going to be spacerless. So the shitty tire plugged one is going to be this one. That one needs to keep its spacer, so let's not make a mistake. Time to switch them around again. So that's the exhaust tip from the V50. No type of PVC tubing or ABS tubing was the right amount to catch that ring. I'll probably put some felt or something in between so it doesn't damage the spacer, but I don't really care for it. Oh, and I don't have a rubber mallet or crazy heat. Heat would probably be the best thing here. You could put some PB Blaster, but I don't have the patience for that. So, let's see if we figure it out. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is going to work, and I don't think it'll damage the spacers if you were to reuse them. There's many better methods, but you need a lot more tools. So this might be more DIY friendly. So my classic 4-pound hammer, and what I found was the handles for my floor jacks, okay? Both of them beside each other are just enough that they kiss the lip of the inside from where the center cap was. So I'm going to put the microfiber towels, okay, inside, but I want to show you the lighting is going to be crap, but right here in the center you can just barely see where the lip of that hub, that spacer is on the inside here. So again, it's protected on the bottom with the mat, and I couldn't possibly show you the lighting, but these two are going to be together in there, and they just barely touch it. So I have to be careful. I'll put a microfiber in there while I align it, maybe, and let's see what happens. Okay, so let me just do one more test fitting here. Yeah, actually, see, I was gonna use the back ends. Yeah, the back ends are actually perfectly aligned. See, I'm hitting my hand on the top. It's not gonna damage the inside of the rim. This is a very lucky fit. And let's see what okay, so let's give it a shot. Okay, so real time, guys. That's not very good that these two kind of rolled in the rim there, but we'll see. I'll keep it all in one clip with no editing. This wheel spacer did pop right out. Please focus in on there. You can see it that it fell out. Okay, now come bring the camera back up. See, but the way they kind of got stuck in there, it's still not bad because they're both rounded edges. See, if I would have used square tubing, that would have been very dangerous. This is not so bad. Okay, so we'll just gently roll them and work them. There we go. See, a little shake, they came out. Now, let me grab the camera here so you guys can see that I'm not editing anything or bringing a different wheel. The inside of here is completely healthy, but absolutely nothing got damaged. There's your best focused scene right there. All right, so the inside of the rim is nice and clean. You can see, again, yeah, actually you can see a little bit there. It did touch the lip of it when I hit it. That's why. Obviously, I mean, you guys have common sense, right? And let me get a light on here. So if you found something that was an exact diameter of this small lip, yeah, one hit of the hammer would have gotten it done, as long as the piece of steel pipe, cold rolled mild steel that you're using, is perfectly flat and true, like it's been cut perfectly. You see, I've done this kind of stuff before with them, but they weren't as precise as I thought, and they were a bit weaker when I hit them with the hammer there. But this did leave a bit of an indent on this spacer. I mean, people are big time criers when it comes to wheel balancing on forums. I really don't think something this small is going to make a difference. The wheels will still be balanced. This is completely usable, I guarantee you guys. We might even keep this one and use it later just so I can prove it to you. Okay, so it's time for Christmas dinner now. That's enough for tonight. We made some progress, and we'll do the power steering stuff and more of the wheels in the next video. So see you guys later.